In the last session, we have seen, if you see the readme, adding new elements, removing elements, adding the styles, and removing the styles. Right? We have seen adding the styles and removing the styles. Correct? Hello?
Yes.
Day 63. New readme.md events DOM events. What I think you might see my screen. DOM events, the today's topic. So on the 61, we have seen what is a DOM manipulation. On the 60, that was the async programming. 61, if you see DOM manipulation intro. 62, we have seen how to add an element, how to remove elements and other things. Right? But remember that, okay, and 63, DOM events we will see if we get the time. But before that, or let's complete the DOM events today, no problem. One important concept is pending. Document.query selector. I have deliberately kept that at the last. Let's complete the DOM events today. And here I can say index 01.html and app01.js. Index 01.html and DOM events. Okay, there are many events. Let's script src app01.js. So we have added the script at the end. We can add the script in the beginning also. That's what we are going to see today. Events. There are many, at the many places there are events. Now consider that a scenario where we need to get the event on. There are multiple things. For a button, click is the event. For the mouse move is the event. For the keyboard, pressing the key is the event. That event we are talking about. And there are the events. These are the normal events, but there are some events which can be loaded, which can be triggered. So the events can be triggered, like page is loaded. When page is loaded, I need to have an event, right? So let us see. Let's get the page load event. Can you see to the body on load? Can you see on load? Now if you see, this is the element. To the element you are going to give the name of the event, right? I will load script here. To that particular element, there is the name of the event. There is what? Name of the event. If you see here, if you see here, this is the element. We know that body is the element, and this is the name of the event that should happen. This is the JS file we already have written, and here I can say function on load on anything, on bd loaded. Here you can say bdld, on bdld, console.log body loaded. Okay, or page loaded, whatever. It's not a body loaded actually, but let us consider in that way. And can you see here, now three things you need to remember. Three things you need to remember about event handling. After the element name, you can use the event name as attribute like this, and you can pass this thing over here, name of the function in the HTML. Name of the function in what? HTML. So this is going to get triggered, this particular event. Onload is the name of the event. Whenever onload will happen, whenever this event will triggered, this function would be passed, which means that this function would be passed. Whenever event is triggered, this is the name of the event, and whenever this event is triggered, this function is passed. So this is the one way of handling events. This is the one way of handling events. So what is another we will see? First let's try to open this HTML in the browser. Open with, sorry. So here we can say reveal in finder index 01. So let's go and open that here. Okay. Now let's console it. Can you see body loaded? Okay, body loaded. Can you see event is triggered? If you see here, on body loaded, on body loaded. Is that clear? Hello? So
Yes.
tag or element to the element on load is one of the attribute. This is called as name of the event, and to the name of the event you are passing a function. This is the event. To the element you have used attribute as a name of the event. This is a standard. So this comes in along with the HTML. This is standard. So you cannot write anything over here. Absolutely not possible. These are the predefined things that are available in HTML as it is. Correct? And this is the function name that you have written in that you have written in your JavaScript. Now see, on load, a resource and its dependent resources have finished the loading. Okay, so once this thing has been loaded, then this function would be getting called. So one way we have talked. Now see, I have an input button and value say okay. Now here I can assign one ID over here and say btn okay. Btn okay. Now the body has been loaded. Body has been loaded. So here once body has been loaded, which means that this input element have also been loaded. Correct? Hello? Am I audible? So here if you see, the body has been loaded, which means that this function has been loaded. Now this can be done in same thing. Let's remove the button. Same thing can be done, right? So this is the body for the body. But what I need, once page has been loaded, once what page has been loaded, so there is another way. Here you can say document dot add event listener. Add what? Event listener. Another way of adding the same thing. So I will remove this thing. Well, this is for the body once body has been loaded, but I need to get page has been loaded. Can you see DOM content loaded? Can you see DOM? Name of the event is DOM content loaded. And which function to be called? This function to be called. So once your page has been loaded, sorry, this is the function. You can write lambda also. And here I can say console dot log content loaded. So this checks the DOM content have been loaded or not. Okay, and you can print this event console.log ev, this event. And if you go here now and refresh it, can you see you get the event object? Can you see content loaded means when? What do you mean by DOM now? Document object model is nothing but what? DOM. Document object model is nothing but what the DOM is. What do you mean by DOM? We have seen the definition of the DOM. When you say DOM, whenever complete HTML loads into your browser, the HTML loads into your browser. Whenever your HTML loads into your browser, correct? JavaScript or browser gives you access to that HTML by means of a document object, a root of the hierarchy is that document object, correct? That is nothing but what? That document object. And once the loading has been completed, once the loading has been completed, this event would be getting triggered. See, one way of doing this thing, a name, this is the element name, add the onload attribute over here. Add what? Onload attribute over here. And then assign this function. So this is the, if particular element is having some event, that can be written in this way. in this way. Now here your DOM content has been loaded successfully, means kind of page load event you can see over here. And inside this, because page has been successfully loaded, you can do a lot of things over here inside this. Right now, input type button. Okay, input type button, and I can say okay or yes, and here we can assign ID, or instead of that I can say on click event. Can you see? I can do something like this, and then inside this on click event, see here. Oh, okay, I will come back to this point, but can you see here you get this ev object. Now can you see this, that ev object we have already consoled. What is nothing but what console.log ev, and nothing but this. And if you go below, can you see source element is document on, see the things, the details of the event, timestamp 14, source element, target element, on the document element that has been loaded. Can you see source element? See here you can see the document, right? Document, and you can get all the children nodes. So presently yes button is there, go there inside this, then source element and children inside the source element. Okay, and there might be children also, and you will see, or child nodes. See here a doc type html, and inside the node list a lot of things are there actually. So you get, when you say source, if you see source element, the element on which what I'm saying, the element on which event is triggered, that is nothing but this thing. Now here you can use document dot get element by id, and here let's give btn yes. Okay, here straight away we are going to give a function. So here we can write the function, say function, and here bt or on yes clicked. So here you can say on yes clicked. Okay, and here you can say console.log yes clicked. Yes clicked. Go here, refresh it and see. Can you see yes clicked? Or you can use something called as alert. So yes clicked. And can you see little dialog, yes clicked, right? Click on the yes clicked. Similarly you can write, let's have one more button, yes button and no button. Now instead of doing this thing, I can say id is equals to btn no, right? Now see the content has been loaded over here. So this function confirms that the content is fully loaded. So what we can do here, const btn no is equals to document dot get element by id. This is another way. Now can you see here? So here you are getting complete element, so whole and sole element. So this whole input element you will get over here in a btn no, right? And here what's the id? btn no. We can pass btn no over here, and here you can add btn no dot on click, because you are getting on click. Here you are getting complete, so this btn no will return the complete element. So it is the same thing as if you are writing on click on the element, So writing btn no dot on click is similar to writing this on click itself on the element. So instead, here you are directly writing it on the element, but here instead of writing it on the element, you are doing it in the DOM, because this thing will give you complete element. So document.getElement by id, this thing will give you complete element, and onto that element you're again, here you can write a function or lambda, whatever. Here also you can get access to this e is nothing but button event, or you can say btn ev. So here also you can get that button event and console.log, or you can print the alert, and here you can say no clicked, no clicked, refresh it and see here no. Can you see no clicked? Same thing, effect is same. Yes clicked, no clicked. Can you see? So documents, so we have seen one way, direct writing event on the element name, otherwise assign the id. And once, so this is also one example, once complete DOM is loaded, you can assign the things like this. And when you talk about the event, you get the event details. Now here I will do some console.log also, alert also would be getting printed, and console.log, here I can say this btn event dot src element is deprecated. Whenever you see this strike through, can you see this strike through over the attribute, which means that it is no more used, it is not in use anymore. There might be alternative given to you, and that you need to check it on the mdn reference Mozilla document. And if you can see target, if I btn element dot target, just refresh it, and here if you click no and say okay, can you see target means what? You get complete html element. Can you see that? The place where actually event is happened, right? Similarly, this is the actual element you are getting. btn target is actually giving you the actual html element. Can you see? Actual html element is giving you this btn target dot, then value. If you can say value means it should print this no, only no. So just refresh it. You need to refresh every time, and can you see answer is no. Why? Because if target is representing, this is the target, this is the target, right? This is the whole html target. Can you see? So if this is the, this input element is there, you can access dot type means it will return button. When you say dot value, it should return no. When you say id, it should return btn no. btn dot target will represent actual html element. btn ev dot target will represent actual html element. Correct? btn ev dot target will represent actual element. So btn ev will represent the event that is triggered on the button. Can you see? Pointer event. Which event has been triggered? Pointer event. See now, pointer event would be having x and y, type is mouse, and a lot of other things you can see over here. Button. Okay. So this is the one way. Now other thing is that let's have this div, and let me give some width, say 100 px, height 100 px, and background color cadet blue. Okay, background color what? Cadet blue. Now if I take cursor inside this element, if I take cursor inside this element, the color should become red, right? Color should become what? Red. I just want to change the color. Okay. Now see, either you can add event like this, or you can straight away say a name of the event over here, mouse enter, or on. Events are started with the on, remember that. On mouse enter, on mouse leave, these are the two events. On mouse enter, on mouse leave. Okay, on mouse enter, on mouse leave. So on complete event loaded, on complete event loaded, either you can use something like this, either you can use something like this. So here you can say const dv. So we didn't give any id. So tomorrow we are going to see how do you access these things. Presently you just know by means of id. So dv call. So here you can say dv document dot get, sorry, document dot get element by id, and here you can say dv call. Okay, and then dv dot on mouse enter. Can you see event? Either you can write mouse enter straight away here, or something like this, mouse enter. We just need to change the color. You know how to do that thing. So here we can write a function. Every time we don't need this lambda, sorry, this object event. Every time you don't need this object event. Now see here, and here you can say this dv dot style dot background color is equals to red. This is mouse enter, means whenever you enter into that. Now what I wanted to do, on mouse exit, on mouse leave. Okay, it should be again cadet blue. Refresh it. Can you see mouse is entered, color changed, exited, color change, entered, color change, exited, color change, right? Can you see? Now if you want to print x and y values, x and y values, so as I move the cursor, I need to print the x and y values. Okay, so to the body, here we can say on mouse move, and to the on mouse move we can call this function on body loaded, on body loaded, and here ev, we can say ev. And if you see console.log ev, the event that is going to trigger, can you see body loaded, that event is not happening. Okay, now here you need to pass dollar event. Now refresh it. Okay, just a minute. So here you just need to say event, not dollar, simply event. Can you see? So this event is the variable. Event is the variable that can be, this event is the variable that can be accessed inside the HTML, right? Means can you see look at the body loaded function. Look at the body loaded function. Look at the body loaded function. It is having one parameter EV, which means that the actual event object, can you see something like this event object or this btn event object, we need to pass over here. So from here you need to pass something called as event. So this is the standard. You cannot pass anything like this. That won't work. Refresh it. Can you see there is a problem? But HTML has given you a special variable. The captured event would be stored in this variable in a HTML side, and that you can pass over here. Just refresh it and see now. Can you see screen X and screen Y? So what we need to do over here, document dot write ln, a new line, and every time we need to add X, that is nothing but ev dot, if you see here, screen X and screen Y. Two parameters are there, screen X and, or simply X and Y, dot X here you can say, and dollar ev dot Y. Now what is the write ln, you will get to know. Refresh it. Document dot write ln, or simply write. Okay, what's happening on the body? Can you see events are getting generated in the console, but they are not getting added. Document.write ln is not working. So what this document.write will do, if you do something document.write, see ABC, it will write that. Okay, yeah, I got it. What's happening? Just forget about this right now. And here we can have one paragraph, ID, and here we can say P dt. So here a document. Now see, I don't need, if something like this, the function is given over here, right? A function is given over here. So if you can do something like this, P dt, okay, P, and here you can say P dot inner text is equals to P. Can you see ID is here? I have passed ID over here, which means that directly I have passed this element over here, and here you can say this dollar ev dot x and dollar ev dot y. Now refresh it. Can you see I'm moving cursor, and the x and y values are getting changed. Can you see that on the screen? See how I have passed. If something like this, you can pass any element also like this. You can pass element directly like this. So here you don't need to do document.getElement by ID, because whatever ID you will pass over here to the function, so it will directly point to that element. Okay, this is about the events. Rest of the things we will see tomorrow. Is that okay? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. Also, I will upload a lot of recordings are pending. I'll do that. Thank you.
Yes.